Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Elite Expert Insider Podcast. Hosts Melanie Johnson and Jenn Foster are the owners of Elite Online Publishing. They're both Wall Street Journal, USA Today best-selling authors. We're really glad you're here because this podcast was designed for you. Meet industry experts that share their secrets and strategies. Get successful results for your business in money, relationships, health, and your life. Each episode is going to inspire you to take action towards reaching your greatness.
Hey everyone, it's Melanie Johnson. Thanks for joining us for our podcast again today. Hi Jen, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a great day here. Even though it's snowing, it's still warm. So I'm having a great day.
All right, that's a perfect combination. All right, so, Jen and I are in the publishing business. We have been for years. And part of that is helping our authors sell books and it's knowing what to do online. And advertising your business online can be so freaking confusing. It's like, do I do ads? Do I do Facebook ads, Google ads? Do I do a funnel? What the heck's a funnel? Half the people don't even know what a funnel is. There's ClickFunnels, there's Zapier, there's all these things you're supposed to be doing. And like our guest, Jason Wright says, you can ask 10 people all the questions of what you should be doing for your business online and get 10 completely different answers. So he's here to declutter all of that for us. And let's get some clarity. So Jason, thanks for coming today. And he's even wrote a book on it.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Well, Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from and how you got into the digital marketing world.
Oh boy, it's a loaded question there a little bit. About me, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I love the outdoors, love to hunt and fish and hike and play golf. When I'm not doing that, I love to sit in this chair and do things with digital marketing. So the way I got into this was kind of a mistake, honestly. I knew that I wanted to work for myself from home. I live in the south side of Indianapolis. And I always have to commute. I always had to commute to the north side or far away places. And I just got tired of not being paid for my drive time. I got tired of people telling me what to do, never listening to my ideas, never letting me do more stuff for free because I saw where I could help. I just got tired of the whole game. So I was like, I'm going to do something on my own, but I have no idea what to do. So honestly, it's kind of funny. I started trying to blog and teach people to quit the 9-to-5, but I hadn't done it myself. So I kind of felt like a fraud. And I learned just a little bit about marketing, mostly with social media, just to get my message out there, to spread my blog around. And somebody on my team at the time had introduced me to ClickFunnels, and I really didn't understand it. Then I kind of understood it. And then I saw somebody on Upwork looking for help with the same thing that I had just done. Oh, that's interesting. So that's kind of how it began. And over time, I've kind of pivoted and figured out what I want to do. But it was all by mistake, to be honest with you.
Those are the best ways. That means I just think God has a way for you when he's pushing you in that direction. Jen and I never thought we were going to have a publishing company ever. And then here we are 6 years later, we still have a publishing company. We would have never said, yeah, we want to go into publishing, but it's been a tremendous business. And it sounds like you really are crushing it with what you do as well. So demystify some of this with us. Explain what a funnel is and why we should have one. Let's start with that.
Yeah, funnel is, you can get a lot of different explanations, but to keep it very simple, I equate all marketing to relationships, right? A funnel is, unlike a website, they look the same. Unlike a website where there's a lot of options and a lot of information, a funnel is more focused on asking for one specific thing. A lot of times it's an email address or a name and an email address. You may, be trying to give away a lead magnet, give away some value for an email address, and it gets people into your world. When people get into your world, they get on your email list and it starts that relationship. So by taking away options on your landing pages, you're going to increase conversions. So it's like, hey, give me your name and email for this value or go away. That's kind of what you're saying. And it works much, much better. So why should you do that? Well, you can build your list. You have the ability to give more value and create more upsells. And, as soon as somebody makes one purchase, they're 10 times more likely to spend more money. So that first dollar is always the biggest challenge. And then from there, it becomes much, much easier. So that's kind of a high level overview.
I like that you called the funnels part of a relationship, because really what you're doing is building that relationship. And I love how funnels keep that communication going. So tell us kind of is there a specific way you have to do a funnel? I mean, there's so many different, what are they called? Autoresponders, you might say. I mean, I think Aweber was first back in the day. So like simplify the autoresponder, what that actually means for people who maybe don't have a funnel yet. And what's the best way to capture someone's email? What do you do?
Yeah, great, good questions. I love this stuff. It's so fun to talk about. So an autoresponder is basically just an email marketing platform that can help you with automations or drips, as lots of people call them, right? People take an action and get in your list and they get an email right away is the simplest explanation. What most people do and think about when they think of a funnel is they think paid ads, and they think about landing pages or websites, and then we'll get to that email marketing thing later. It's a huge mistake. They need to focus on it in the opposite order. Start with the back end, because the back end is the email marketing, the texting, the CRM. It's the foundation of everything. Start there, then focus on your landing pages and your offers. Your offer could be, a lot of people still do the ebook thing. A great lead magnet. A lead magnet is just value in exchange for an email address. Is 3 free videos about something that your audience is going to care about. Can make 3 videos that are 3 minutes or less and give somebody unbelievable value. What I like to do is I make, hundreds of videos a month on Loom, right? So I'll give away a lead magnet, then make an explainer video where I screen share and I walk you through what you're trying to do and why. And it makes it so much more valuable. I do the same thing with quotes for new clients. I do the same thing with my team to teach, and the same thing with my clients to answer questions. Video makes everything so much better. Okay. So then you're working on the front end. And then once you start to have some conversions and stuff, the last thing you want to focus on is ads, because there's no reason to spend money on traffic if you have no plan. Okay. They opt in. Now what? Most people do nothing at all. They have these lists. And I'm like, okay, what's that big list doing for you? They're like, nothing. I don't know what to do. Okay. What would you talk to your next door neighbor about? You've got to think of it in terms of a relationship, right? You can't talk to somebody only when you want to sell them something and expect good results. Hey, neighbor, I know you don't remember my name. I need your grill. Like, it's not going to go well. So,
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, because I think a lot of times, especially with retail, you see so many emails that are, this sale, that sale, buy this, buy that, check out this new catalog for Sam's Club or whatever, right? It's so many emails of in your face. So tell us about, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, not in retail, but in a B2B or a B2C even. How can you nurture that relationship? How can you send emails where it's not buy my stuff, every single email? How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to think of it again, if you go back to the relationship thing, first of all, big retail, big corporate America can do that because their marketing budgets are insane. They can just hammer away and say, hey, we'll take 20% of people if they buy, that's fine. They don't care as much about it because they don't really have to. Most entrepreneurs don't have an unlimited amount of people on their email list, unlimited amount of, ad budget. So if you have a ton of money, you can do things very, very differently. With entrepreneurs, again, you get people on your list, you want to bring them into your world. They can get books published from other people. They can get funnels built from other people. But if they like the way that we roll, that's going to create a strong bond. It's going to create a relationship. So you need to think of it that way. Maybe, Gary Vee talks about the concept of jab, 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 hook. It's value, 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 ask. So even if you don't like, quote unquote, selling, right? Touch points are important. Say you're sending an email out a week. In the footer of your email, you can have something that says, hey, not sure what to do next? Go here. Step 1, do this. And you can walk people through the customer journey and allow them to move forward without ever talking about it. So my advice would be is don't sell in every email. Don't even sell in every 2 or 3 emails. Give them a little breather. Talk, make it like a real relationship and use conversational copywriting. And it makes it not only easy, but it makes it a lot more effective because it feels real.
Some of the things that we've had is the copywriting. What do we say? We sit at the typewriter. It's like, all right, like you said, be real, give value, but it's like, I don't know exactly what to say. And that seems to be a hurdle for people.
Oh yeah, it's a huge hurdle. So what I tell people to do is I came up with this concept of the 5 buckets, right? Think of your business like a Venn diagram. What are 5 different areas or angles you could talk about that are still relevant to your business? Okay. Figure that out. All of them still have value and are applicable to what you do, but it gives you and the reader some content variety. So for example, mine could be sales funnels from a high level, digital marketing from a higher level, entrepreneurship, active campaign from a very low focused level, and maybe ClickFunnels. Like I just made up 5, but they're all relevant. They're going to appeal to different people, and it gives you some variety. Don't be scared to send emails that you're just talking about business or sharing a story. People love storytelling. So you're allowed to be human. And some of the best people that I follow just do such a good job of that. They make it look really, really easy. And it is.
Yeah, that's so true. Like when I'll get Brendan Burchard is someone who I am on his list. And when I get emails from him, he's always like, this happened the other day, or this little, like he's telling some story, like, yesterday this happened, or last week, or whatever. And he has some story that ties into the message that he has for the email. Whether it's an ask or not, whether he's asking you to visit somewhere or check something out, but he always has some kind of story to it. So that's very good key.
That makes sense. And then I had another question that I was thinking about. So you've got how do you know what product to give? So we've had this, it's like, all right, we're going to sponsor an event, but then we want to roll them in and give some kind of offer. What's the right offer? And sometimes the offer falls flat and you're like, man, nobody even asked about that. We ended up selling something entirely different than what we thought we were going to offer at this event. So how do you know what the right offer is to get them into your funnel and the offers along the way? Is it a big ticket? Is it small ticket? Do you have to start with the really small ticket if you're a high ticket company?
It's interesting because starting off, I remember distinctly going, okay, you always hear like the riches from the niches. It's like, I need to focus on my audience, but I don't know who they are. Like, how do I figure it out? And I spent 2.5 years trying to figure it out and made no money. And I was like, what is going on? So a lot of this is a journey for us all. Right? If you have clients, which you guys do, which I do, one of the most powerful things you have is, what are these people typically like? What are the questions or areas that most people struggle with when they begin publishing? When they buy a package, what happens next? And you start thinking about what you sell the most of, what you address the most, and you say, this is kind of crazy. Okay, here's what I'm selling now. How can I repackage this slightly differently, make it look new, but address a little bit, put a little bit more focus on this other part of it? So a lot of my products and services are really the same thing. Some people want to do it themselves. Some people want me to do it all. And some people want to do it together. So using what I know will sell in my business, I can repackage things differently and it appears new, and it's not deceptive, but it's repackaged. And maybe instead of a monthly thing, it's an annual thing, or maybe it's a one-time thing. So you can kind of play around with that. But asking your current clients, hey, if you would have had one thing when you got started, what would have helped you, get to success quicker, and kind of getting some of that feedback will be really helpful as well. But sometimes you'll think you'll do it. You'll think you got it figured out and the offer falls flat. And sometimes things you don't expect to blow up do. So it's a process and a journey for us all.
Yeah. I want to ask you about ads, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, they're like, everyone tells me I need a Google ad, or everyone tells me I need a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad or whatever kind of ad, TikTok ad or whatever, right? How do you know when it's right to do an ad? And do you need that funnel to back up the ad, or how does that work? And what kind of budget do you need? Because it seems like I haven't had much success, or the people that I know that have done Facebook ads, unless they're spending thousands of dollars a month, they're not really seeing returns. So tell us a little bit of your experience with ads.
Yeah, I'll defer to somebody more successful than me. So Dan Henry, he's a big guy in the ClickFunnels world. He says that you don't even need to worry about ads till you're at, I can't remember if he says 20 or 30 grand a month in revenue. The first time I heard him say that, I was like, does he really know what he's talking about? I mean, I'm sure he does. I've met the guy and everything. It's interesting because a lot of people I see try to jump in ads literally don't even have a full-time business yet. It's like, hey, you're going out of order. I know it feels right, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a big waste of time and a waste of money. So I like the idea of ads if you already, and I like high ticket. I'm a high ticket business. I didn't start that way, but you can be successful different ways. High ticket's easier, right? It's easier to grow a business in my opinion with a high ticket offer. But if you already know what sells, and you already know that you have buyers at a price point, you know who you're targeting, and you're already doing okay, then you can run ads, because you just need to find more of those people. In that case, it can be really, really impactful for your company. But when you don't know, when you're not 100% certain of the offer, you're not 100% certain of who you're targeting, you can run ads, but you might spend a lot of money trying to figure out what audiences are resonating with it. So ads is, like I said, get your back end done, get your business churning, at least make a strong full-time income before you even get serious about ads. But a lot of people will do Facebook ads if it's B2C, which is still probably the king, even though I'm not a big Facebook fan as a company, but they're kind of a necessary player in this space. A small ad budget's $50 a day. Like, that's really, really small. You need to spend money to make money with ads because you've got to get that data. And if you pay attention to the data, it'll tell you what's working. Its algorithm will be like, nah, do this. I mean, you can set it up so that it optimizes spending for you, but it can definitely scale your business, but a lot of people jump in way too soon.
That's really good advice. And I like how you talked about the audience, because I think a lot of times people say, I think I know who my audience is. Like with books, you have your genre and it's like, okay, well, I know it's young adult readers. Well, that is really a lot of people. So that's not very niched, right? That's a lot of people to say it's young adults. So you really have to hone in on who that avatar, who that person is. That is your audience.
I know that right now, if I were able to step into a room with 100 of my ideal client and make them an offer, I would break my company selling so much stuff, to them. The ask would be so big, and that it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And it's interesting because a lot of times what you think your business is going to do or where you want to go doesn't matter, because you start saying, man, the real opportunity is here. Look at this. I never even thought about that. People will come to you and say, hey, I know you don't do this per se, but would you do this? And they'll give you a new idea. And you're like, yeah, it's in line with what I'll do. Absolutely. So some of the best offers I've come up with, people have come to me, wallets open, like, I want you to do this for me. Will you do this? Okay. It's in line with what I'm doing. That makes sense. Let's try it. And then you realize, man, there's a big need here. So it's the journey is the part that I love. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed what you're saying is so many people jump ahead. It's like buying the furniture before you've even drawn your houses to build your house for architecture. I got this great couch, but you haven't even, you don't even have a piece of land picked out to build your house yet. So,
just set it in my neighbor's driveway. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Plastic on it. So yeah, it's kind of like that. So I really love that you're saying, really take a step back, have that whole plan, make your email campaign, write the emails, have the whole back end. How are you going to follow up with people? Who's going to follow up with people? What does all that look like? Because in our business, usually we start with the end in mind, and it's kind of the same with you. It's like the end is really the follow-up campaign. How are you going to continue to communicate with these people and have that all in place? Because if you don't have that in place, then you've just wasted your time. You've put an ad in and all that other stuff. And how do you set, you talked briefly about a budget. So you're starting out, most businesses are either starting out or they're small, they're working on their cash flow. How do you decide how much to spend on advertising and marketing and ClickFunnels and all of that?
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer. Honestly, if you have a higher ticket offer, right, let's just make up numbers. Say your offer is $5,000. Do you want to spend 15 grand a month? You got to start thinking about that. Say, I might need to close 4 to make it even. Start smaller, test it out, give it a chance. But the reason, like, I don't run ads for people with small ticket offers is because if you have a $7 product, right, you can sell a bunch, but if you don't have an upsell on the back end of that product, how are we going to break even with your ads? Like, let's just have a real, is it possible? Yeah, but the odds aren't in our favor. So maybe an upsell is a one-on-one session or a speaking gig or something like that, or a course. But using a book as the front end offer is great, but definitely have something higher ticket to sell beyond that book. Somebody may read your book and say, I want more of your time, author. What do you have? Will you come read me my book in my house? Will you come speak at my company? Can we go camping together? Whatever it may be, but having some kind of upsell, that's how you really make money with marketing like that. But the low ticket offer, if you have a $7 thing and you want to spend money on ads, I would say, okay, we can do that, but we need to come up with some bigger offers behind the book, or you're never going to break even.
It's so true. You have so much wisdom. I love it all. So is some of this information in your book, or tell us a little bit about your book real quick?
Yeah, so the book is The Backwards Route to Forward Progress, and it's really a mindset book. It's incredible to me how important mindset still is. So I'll tell you guys a quick story. So about 2 weeks ago, I was in Nevada. I was in Vegas for the second time this year, but not to have fun. I was there to hike a mountain, which I don't do. I've never done. I'm 40. I'm not in the greatest shape in the world with cardio and stuff, but my buddy's like, yeah, we're going to go to Mount Charleston and we're going to go to the highest point in Nevada. And that's going to be a great idea. I was like, okay, what could go wrong? Well, it was the hardest thing I've ever done mentally and physically by 100 times. I didn't think I was going to survive the trip because we did 18 miles in 18 hours, and there was no break from the wind. We were soaking wet. We were out of water. It's not a good situation.
Wow.
We thought we were going to go up a little bit and camp, but we couldn't camp because it was way too cold and we weren't ready. So I was like, we'll just go to the top. It's not that far. And it was all uphill and it was a lot farther than people told us. Then we had to go all the way back to the truck. So I was reminded that even though the body breaks or even though something breaks, the mind can carry you through. You know, it may be I need to take 2 steps and rest for the next 3 miles, but still forward progress, right? So it's interesting because when I wrote the book, I was just getting serious about entrepreneurship. And I was like, yeah, mindset, motivation. I love it. I love it. You know, mine is naturally strong. And I look back at that and go, that thing is still relevant today. Like it really brought me back to that going, man, if you have doubt in business and you doubt yourself and you just think about failure, negativity, it's going to be real hard for you. If you can't get out of your own way, it's not going to be a good experience for you. So that's a little bit about what the book's about. And there's 3 kind of easy takeaways from each chapter. And this is what you need to do. Boom, boom, boom. So very digestible as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important in today's world, especially with young people 25 and under. They just have so much fear, so much anxiety. It just feels like that whole generation is riddled with it. I don't know if it's because of social media, gaming, whatever it is, but it's just it's getting past your fear, walking past your fear and feeling comfortable with who you are that gets you to the level. So grab that book. That sounds like a great book.
Can I address that young crowd real quick?
Mm-hmm.
For anybody listening, I just want you to hear these 2 things and take it in with full sincerity. No matter what you do or don't do in life and in business, people are going to judge you. So there is no avoiding judgment. You're being judged even if you don't do something. So stop caring about what people think and understand the only person that can actually hold you back from anything is you. That's it. You know, who's going to stop me from accomplishing my goals? I have yet to meet him. I wouldn't want to stop me. So I understand that unless I die first, I'm going to hit all my goals for that reason. The end. That's it.
That's great.
I love it. Thanks for that.
Great advice. Well, tell people, Jason, where people can find you, where they can go online to get more information.
Yep. So intentionallyinspirational.com is kind of my business and my website and kind of my front porch for everything I'm doing. So check it out.
Awesome. We'll put the links up on the show notes and you can click there and we'll put your book link there as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. That was just a ton of knowledge on both fronts. We got stuff for personal development as well as business development and demystifying all of the digital marketing. So if you're looking to have your book published digitally and being available at bookstores, then reach out to us at Elite Online Publishing. Click that submission form and connect with us. We'd be glad to help you out and see if you're a good fit for us. And until next time, have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, are you looking to increase your revenue, build credibility, and elevate your brand? This podcast is brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, an innovative publishing and full spectrum marketing company. They will publish and market your book to make it a #1 bestseller. Becoming an author is the best way to market your business. So contact them at eliteonlinepublishing.com today. All of their authors become #1 bestsellers.